What's up, guys?
Bingo!
Sebastian Labor here, and you're listening to the third episode of Conspiracy Chatter. Today we got guest speaker and wildlife expert Matteo Ametrano with us.
Hey.
And today we're going to be looking at Bigfoot, the mystical beast. What is it? Man in a costume, gorilla on two legs. Who knows? We'll be getting into all that later.
Now, some people actually say I look like Bigfoot. If you can believe that.
Yeah, I believe it.
Okay.
Just a couple of quick facts about him. Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch, is a giant ape-like creature that is said to roam the Pacific Northwest. There is a scant physical evidence that such creature exists, so not a lot, but I think we have enough here to possibly debunk it later. Who knows? Bigfoot buffs are convinced that they do exist, and that science will soon prove it, but we're going to prove it before science does. While most sightings of Bigfoot occur in the Northwest, the creatures have been reported all over the country. There are many native myths and legends of wild men in the woods, but Bigfoot has been around for only about 50 years. Interest in Bigfoot grew rapidly during the second half of the 20th century, spurred by magazine articles of the time. Most seemingly, a December 1950 magazine titled True described the discovery of large, mysterious footprints in the year before in Bluff Creek, California. Interesting. The first ever sighting, 1959. 50 years ago. Here we are now talking about it. Just a couple of conspiracies behind it. Me and Matteo are going to dive into each one of them.
I'm excited.
First one here is a DNA test proved that Bigfoot is part human hybrid and deserves U.S. citizenship. Matteo, Bigfoot, U.S. passport. What do you think?
I don't know, man. That one's kind of shaky in my opinion. My expertise in the field kind of shows the opposite of this theory, saying that he's a kind of more of a freak of nature. Which, these shenanigans saying that he deserves a U.S. citizenship is, in my opinion, that's just simply ridiculous. It's redonk.
Yeah, I think maybe he's part human hybrid, but I don't think he's enough to have a U.S. passport.
Maybe he's the missing link.
Maybe Oprah's just, passing passports around. Who knows?
Homo sapien. Maybe he's the missing link. Who knows?
Second one here. The government secretly removed burnt Sasquatch corpse from a mountain. Ooh.
Okay.
Government trying to hide it? What do you think? Possibilities? Real, fake?
The government's all over the place with this Bigfoot issue. No one really knows the facts. I don't even know the facts. I've studied this for about 30 years now, and I still don't know everything. I know a lot of things, but the government has been known to kind of hide a lot of stuff over time. Bigfoot could be one of them. This is very possible.
Wouldn't put it past them.
Would not put it past. We're sneaky guys. You can't trick us, bud. Yo, U.S. government, gas you.
Next one, and fan favorite.
Okay.
Bigfoot is really, an alien.
This is a fan favorite. Living most of my life at the museums. I got a lot of people asking me when they find out who I am. I get a lot of questions about Bigfoot. Him being an alien is the fan favorite, but I gotta say I don't really back this theory. I don't know, man. Just thinking that some lad came out of space, came down, he's kind of lurking. I don't know. It's all a blur. It's all a blur. This one doesn't matter.
That's why it's the fan favorite, not the expert favorite.
The expert favorite. We'll get into the expert favorite.
Into that one later, yeah.
It's a good one. It's real juicy.
Next one. Bigfoot is really a giant ground sloth. And for those of you listening, I don't know if you know what a giant ground sloth looks like. But I don't think it looks much like Bigfoot. Matteo, what do you think?
No, Bigfoot can't be a sloth. Bigfoot is really, he is a real being.
He's too fast to be a sloth.
He's different. Sloths are kind of like, if I'm gonna do my best job to imitate a sloth here. Hi, I'm a sloth. That doesn't seem. Bigfoot's got pace. If he had the ratings in a video game, we'll give him a 2K rating here. He's about 6'5", 6'6", 200, 230 pounds. He's a big lad, hairy lad.
Very hairy, yeah.
You could say he looks like Anthony Ametrano. But, he's not a sloth. He is a different type of beast.
Yeah, definitely not. Sasquatches appear in the Bible. thoughts for all the Catholic viewers? Matteo, what do you think?
First of all, I like to say that I love the Pope. I am Catholic. But the Sasquatch, Bigfoot, you're not Catholic, but you don't got a religion. You're just out there lurking in the woods. You don't got a Bible on you. Maybe Mark, Matthew, Luke, and John saw him. Maybe Jesus was hairy. They thought he was Bigfoot for a couple seconds there. Then they figured out who he really was. But this is kind of, I don't know.
I haven't done a good Bible study since grade 9, Mr. Pasquale religion class.
Shut up, Maurice. Shut up, Maurice.
Even then, I don't remember any mentioning of the Sasquatch in the Holy Scripture.
To quote the great Maurice Pasquale, Sasquatch is not in the Bible.
That's a direct quote. You can ask him.
A direct quote.
Next one, and this is very interesting. Might raise up a couple of issues.
Okay.
But 10% of Sasquatches might be gay.
Well, if they're gay, that means only 90% are reproducing. And there are way too many out there, That ain't it. That ain't it.
But when you look at the theories of them being part human, 10% of humans could be gay.
Well, me knowing a couple of gay fellows, Sasquatch doesn't really paint the picture of a gay lad. I can't see that.
Alright, on to the next one. Sasquatches bury their dead. I don't know what this has to do with proving if he's real or not, but
if someone finds me a cemetery with Sasquatch, I'll believe this one. Until that, I'm not believing anything.
Yeah. The government captured a live Sasquatch in 1999. That's only 2 years before we were born. The Sasquatch was captured in 1999. I think we'd know 10 years later from now.
Where is he now? You say he's captured. Give me some pics, some vids.
Is he still alive? Is he dead?
Is he alive? What's happened to him?
Is he being used for testing?
They're gonna test him. They might as well make it public. The government, man, these guys are bastards. They are doing their best. They gotta let him out. Let him out. If you got this Bigfoot, let the public know about it. I think there would be a lot of people who would want to know.
I say we free him up. He hasn't done anything wrong
to us. Free my boy Sasquatch.
Free up Sasquatch. Bigfoot calls have been documented and can be easily mimicked. Fake callers saying, "Oh, Bigfoot." The boy who cried wolf. What do you think?
Bigfoot. No, that's BS, man. That's a whole lot. I think they can only communicate with each other. If humans were able to communicate with Sasquatch, I think they would have done so already. They would have got him out of the trees, say, "Hey Sasquatch, what's up?" Maybe capture him, but
I think there are too many people that are such diehard Bigfoot enthusiasts that if you're just out there mimicking Bigfoot and the sounds he makes, you're wasting everyone's time.
Yeah, you're not doing any good for society.
Yeah.
Go get a job.
Yeah, seriously, man. Get a job. Irrelevant. Couple of questions. So which one of these theories is most probable and why? Or what's your go-to theory on Bigfoot?
So as a Bigfoot expert, my bad. I gotta say that this whole thing that the government is hiding them somewhere, for testing maybe. I think that's the most likely, just based on the facts that the government is a bunch of bitches. Who knows what else they're hiding? If they're hiding Bigfoot, maybe they're hiding everything else. Are we getting controlled by the government? Who knows, man?
Last week, with supernatural expert Virginia Murphy, we talked about Area 51 and them hiding aliens. Now I'm here with wildlife expert Matteo, and we're saying that they're also hiding Bigfoot.
Virginia's actually a close friend of mine. We worked in the field together a couple of years ago. Being an expert, I gotta say, Virginia Murphy, you got some flaws in your knowledge. You're not the brightest person out there, but you do know your shit about aliens. You want to pipe about Bigfoot, give me the call. But right now I'm saying you don't know anything.
Yeah. So I think it's safe to assume that the government's hiding a lot from us. But with all that being said, Bigfoot real?
That is the question, isn't it? That is the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why we're here. And that's why I get paid $600,000 a week to look into this theory.
You get paid $600,000 a week?
Yeah.
I'm quitting my job and I'm coming to work for you.
You should. I just The theories are out there. Everybody's got their own thing, their own views about Bigfoot. You know, these enthusiasts saying these calls. You know, get a freaking job. You know, you're not helping society out. You're not helping yourself out. You're wasting your time. Bigfoot is real.
It's too hyped up for it
He's
not to
out
be.
there. He's out there. He's in the woods. He's in the woods. Who knows where else he could be? You know, maybe he's in my backyard.
Maybe we should go check. Another time.
Dude, I've got cameras everywhere. I gotta, maybe.
Yeah, if he's there, he won't be leaving.
No.
It's a nice backyard.
That's what $600,000 a week is.
Is there enough research and technology with our modern day science to one day capture this beast?
I think research is really catching up to us, but there could be more done. You know, maybe take a couple bones out of my paycheck to give into the science aspect of this game. Help out the research committee. I got a couple friends in the research committee looking into more of the capturing of them. They're out there, you know, 24/7, 365, you know, in the Seattle area, looking for this lad. The science is pretty good. You know, DNA testing's all there. We've looked into it a lot. Trust me, I know my stuff about this, and we have been out there. But I think we could do more. There's always more money to be put into it. There's always more bodies to be put into it. He's always can do better.
So, as the expert, say one day we come across a Bigfoot, what kind of tools or resources do you think we need, that we currently have or need to invent in order to safely capture this big beast?
Well, we do have people who are specifically trained in what to do if we ever do see or capture Bigfoot. So I'm gonna let them handle it.
Couple of tranquilizers, you know, treat it like a big bear.
You know, it's people see Bigfoot as, you know, this enemy. I'm here to say he ain't the enemy. You know, we gotta keep this beast. You know, if we do capture, he wants to be left. Like, that's why he's in hiding. You know, that's why they're not out yet. They know we're looking for him. He's not an idiot.
No, yeah.
He knows. He might know more than us.
Who knows? That's why we haven't caught him yet. He knows everything. He knows where we are, where we're gonna be. So he's always one step ahead.
He is out there. I can tell you that for free.
Yeah. A couple of sightings. First sighting in 1959. Any other sightings you think are key to mention? And just a note about these sightings, you know, a lot of photography and a lot of documents on the History Channel and stuff like that. Like, with all this modern age Photoshop, how much of these facts, air quotes around the word facts, you think are actually facts?
You bring up a good point here with the modern day thing. So actually, I've done some research into the filming done on October 20th of 1967. Bigfoot was filmed in 1967 on many attempts to find him, and these findings have been inconclusive. Though the filmmakers who did the research into it are, you know, I think especially with this one, I think it was real. You know, just simply off the fact that it was a while ago.
Yep.
Last time this won the cup, actually, 1967.
A lot of crazy stuff happening that year, maybe, you know.
Maybe Bigfoot got excited about the Leafs and kind of came out.
Came out of this game,
Maybe. I mean, there's just a bunch of stuff. But back to your thing with this modern technology, I just don't think that this exact sighting was, you know, in the technological era, I guess you could say.
Right, yeah.
That's why I say that this one specifically was a real sighting of Bigfoot. But, you know, there's a bunch of crazy dudes. I've seen them. A couple he-she's, you know, bearded women out there in the Pacific Northwest looking for Bigfoot. Who knows what type of technology they have? They're crazy people. They might be faking this whole thing to get us up, but
yeah.
I think this one's legit, and he definitely is out there.
1967, confirmed Bigfoot actual sighting. No Photoshop. Photoshop wasn't invented until, like, what, 2 years ago?
Who knows, man?
Like, there's no way they had Photoshop.
I'm not a science guy. If I was a science guy, I wouldn't be here. I'm a Bigfoot guy.
But seriously, and here's a personal question.
Okay.
You meet Bigfoot one day.
Mm-hmm.
You're at a little cafe. He walks in, grabs a brewski.
Of course. He's a beer guy. I can tell you that.
double with his Tim's Cup. What do you say? You approach him, ask him a couple questions.
I think I'd just be. I'd take out the camera and start clipping pics. Get a selfie action, maybe post some to the gram. Maybe send one to my boy Gus on Edsby. Say, look what I found getting a coffee at Tim's. My boy Bigfoot. You know, maybe like if I see him, I'd just be shocked.
Yeah.
Personally, just because I don't actually do the research in the field looking for him. I think my boys in the research committee would be pretty jealous. But yeah, you know, I'd be pretty excited. It'd be groundbreaking, of course. But you know, we got to get there first. A lot of steps we got to take to get there first.
Yeah. Well, talked a lot about Bigfoot. I think if I were to meet Bigfoot, question that I'd ask him would be,
"Where you been, man?
Yeah, where you been?
Where you been?
What do you do all day?"
I think they got. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's got a game. Okay, maybe he's got sticks.
Maybe. I don't think he's playing Fortnite. Bigfoot doesn't do Fortnite. You know, maybe NHL 19, 2K.
He seems like a 2K guy.
Seems like a 2K guy, yeah. Yeah, I'd believe that. Chilling at home.
I'd beat him.
Yeah?
I'd beat him.
Well, we're coming up here to the end of our time. Matteo, you want to just give us a quick rundown of everything we talked about?
I think the main thing to take out from my expertise is that this lad is out there. He is real. He is out there. This is real.
You heard it here first. It's been said before, but you heard it here first.
You heard it here first. Bigfoot / Sasquatch is real. Keep an eye out. Keep an eye out.
Have your cameras ready.
If you're out there living in Seattle, maybe the Vancouver area, if he's north of the border, maybe he's out there in the Whistler, maybe grabbing some ski toques, a couple beaver tails in the mountains.
Seems like a ski type of guy.
You know,
he's got the fur coat.
We really don't know his hobbies, but he could be a skier. You know, maybe he's a painter.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of free time in his hands. You know, hiding from everybody.
Also, just a note here: if you do ever find or manage to capture an image or whatever of Bigfoot, feel free to send it off to Matteo and his expert department at his email, Matteo Ametrano I am a Bigfoot expert at gmail.ca-org. It's a non-for-profit organization.
I'd love to hear your stuff. You know, that's honestly what I do most of my day. I got my spam account email, which is loaded with a bunch of BS. Do not email my spam. I will not answer you. But if you want to email that email account that Mr. Sebastian Labora has just stated, it's open. I'm all ears. Well, I'm all eyes. You know, I'm reading it. Not gonna be hearing my emails. I don't know what kind of email you got, but I don't hear mine.
Well, I think that just about does it for this week's episode of Conspiracy Chatter. Thank you to Matteo for being our guest speaker for this episode.
It's a great time, but it's a great podcast.
Great podcast. Best podcast in the G.
Second best.
Second best, sorry. Follow Rap Caviar for more good podcasts.
Yeah, my friend Tomato Bametrano makes that podcast. I hear it's pretty solid.
Alright, well, thank you for listening, and see you next week.